Zero Alpha, cleared to Irish intersection. Hold west on Victor 134. 5-mile legs, left turns. Expect further clearance at 1425. Anticipated Cessna 495, Kilo Alpha, Laramie 15, 17,000, Cheyenne 25.
United 327 Heavy, descend and maintain 7,000, cross Henderson VOR at or below 1.
Although the departure and arrival phases of instrument flight are often considered the most demanding, the Enroute segment can test your IFR skills just as easily. You must be able to combine your ability to control your airplane accurately using instrument interpretation with precise navigation skills, so your exact position is never in doubt. The Jeppesen Enroute charts are designed to simplify instrument navigation. Whether you're following a route you've flown hundreds of times, or one in which ATC has just directed you to an intersection to enter a holding pattern. In this program, we'll look closely at the detailed information printed on the Enroute charts. By understanding the exact meaning of each symbol, you'll be able to rapidly and accurately interpret all the data shown. Let's begin by looking at the low-altitude Enroute charts, which are used for flight below 18,000 feet MSL. Jeppesen prints several low-altitude Enroute charts that cover the United States. There are a number of ways to locate a particular chart or find a specific location or route. For example, on the front panel is a chart index. The heavy black border surrounds the coverage region of the chart in hand. U.S. low 19 and 20 charts provide Enroute information for part of the central United States. Major cities are shown to further help you with chart selection. Cities shown with bold type and gray shading depict terminal areas which have a published area chart. Time zone boundaries are identified by a series of T's on the chart index. This example shows the division between the mountain and central time zones. The front panel also provides the formulas for converting daylight and standard time to universal coordinated time. Here you can see the conversion formulas for both mountain and central times. Above the chart index is the effective date. You should not use this chart before 0901 Zulu on 11 September. If the chart does not have a specific effective date, it states effective upon receipt. In addition, the front panel contains a listing of major changes which have occurred since the last printing of the chart. On the back panel, you can use a feature called ZigDex, or Zigzag Index, to locate major cities. For example, Goodland is located on panel 6 of the U.S. low 19 chart. To find the city, open the chart to panel 6. The Enroute charts are designed so you can follow your flight's progress by turning the panels like the pages of a book. This convenient feature helps in cockpit management since it is seldom necessary to completely unfold a chart. Generally, the back panel also contains a listing of special use airspace and, if applicable, part-time terminal airspace hours. These will be discussed later in this program. The bottom portion of the front panel is the City Location Guide. This is an alphabetical list of cities with IFR airports only, and their corresponding locations on the chart. For example, Goodland is located on Panel 6, Section C. When a chart is opened to a particular panel, which in this case is Panel 6, it can be further divided into 4 sections by imaginary horizontal and vertical lines. These sections are labeled in the top and bottom margins as A, B, C, and D. The panels and sections are useful location identifiers. As previously noted in the City Location Guide, Goodland is located on Panel 6, Section C. Now let's move to the chart itself. We'll begin by looking at some basic methods of airspace depiction. Controlled airspace is shown in white. Within controlled airspace, ATC provides separation for IFR traffic. Uncontrolled, or Class G airspace, is shown in gray and extends upward to 14,500 feet MSL. Although high-altitude jet routes pertain to flight at and above 18,000 feet, they are printed on low-altitude charts for orientation. These routes, which are shaded green, help you transition from the low-altitude structure to the high-altitude structure and back again. Special use airspace is shown in green and magenta and is designated for use whenever aircraft activities require airspace operational limitations. For example, a restricted area is outlined with magenta diagonal slashes. The identifier, affected altitudes, times of activity, and controlling agency are shown. If space is limited, this information is printed either adjacent to the area or will be found on the front or back panel in the section entitled Special Use Airspace. This particular restricted area is R4806E. It uses the airspace beginning at 100 feet above the ground and has an unlimited ceiling. The area is active from 0500 to 2000 local time, Monday through Saturday, and other times by NOTAM dissemination. Los Angeles Center is the controlling agency. Green diagonal slashes surround a warning, alert, or MOA airspace. This MOA has a floor of 100 feet AGL and extends up to flight level 180. The ball flag indicates that there is additional information about the area contained elsewhere on the chart. Here it states to contact Nellis Control or the nearest FSS prior to entering the MOA. Now let's look at the types of controlled airspace that are found in terminal areas. An airport surrounded by Class C airspace is enclosed by a shaded blue outline with a series of Cs included. The upper limit of the Class C airspace is shown next to the area. However, some Class C airspace areas have shapes that do not conform to the standard circular dimensions due to their proximity to high terrain or other types of airspace. Class B airspace areas are depicted by a shaded magenta outline with a series of Bs included surrounding the primary airport. This symbol represents the lateral boundary for the upper limit of the Class B airspace. The altitude for the upper limit is shown to help you select an altitude to overfly the airspace. You'll find a detailed portrayal for each sector on the Class B airspace charts that accompany your area charts. The locations of area charts are identified on Enroute charts by shaded gray dashed lines that surround the charted region. These charts use the same symbology as Enroute charts, but their scale has been adjusted to provide more detail. You should refer to the area chart if your departure or destination airport is within the boundary shown on the Enroute chart. The lateral boundaries of the surface area for Class D and Class E airspace are depicted with a blue dashed line. The class of airspace will be indicated within the parentheses along the boundary. An asterisk indicates that the hours of operation are found on the back panel in the section entitled Part-Time Terminal Airspace Hours, Class CDE. In this example, the airspace is Class D. Effective times are 0600 to 2200 local time. The airspace becomes Class E at other times. Surface areas of controlled airspace where special VFR is not permitted are depicted with small magenta dots, such as here at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. There are many items printed on Enroute charts to help you maintain orientation. For instance, the green dashed line, which shows 2 degrees east, depicts the magnetic variation for this region. Latitude and longitude lines are shown on the chart by thin green lines, such as 39 degrees north latitude and 91 degrees west longitude. A distance ratio at the top of each chart shows you the scale. In this case, 1 inch equals 15 nautical miles. A nautical mile scale is provided along the top of each chart. Beneath the chart number, it is noted that the Lambert conformal conic projection is used to minimize distortion in transferring a section of the Earth's curved surface onto the flat chart. With this type of projection, a straight line on the chart represents a great circle route, which is the shortest distance between 2 points along the curvature of the Earth. Another item used to help with orientation is the set of wings with a north barb pointing to true north. Light blue bands portray areas where Enroute charts overlap one another. In this instance, the low 10 and low 11A and 15 represent the exact locations where those charts overlap this chart. This note refers to an area which is covered elsewhere in an inset. If the inset is on a different chart, it will be noted. In this case, the inset provides you with the Enroute data you need, covering an off-the-chart area over a body of water.